Am I really going here right now? Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and welcome you all back to my next video. I present to all of you here on YouTube, and today is going to be an interesting collection video that I'm going to present to all of you. I haven't done a series like this in a while. I used to do like collections of my certain various video game systems. I haven't done all of them. One day I might hope to get to that, but I did a good chunk of like 5 or 6 systems I have collections for, like a comic book collection / manga collection, an anime collection. I've done numerous videos a couple years back on various collections I have, but I've never talked about these things. And these have been, I got these years ago when I was like, in the late 90s, early 2000s era time. And I have a couple of them I'm going to present to all of you here today. And those are the Tiger Electronic games. And for those of you that know what these are, they're little like LCD screen-based games. You probably have come across YouTubers that have talked about these in the past, especially the Angry Video Game Nerd. He did a whole entire freaking video talking about these things. And they are good and bad. They were interesting little, experiments, interesting little concepts to actually have. They never would have taken away from full-blown video games, and anyone pretty much would say that. I mean, when I was growing up playing these things, I had a Super Nintendo and a Game Boy and a PlayStation 1 and N64 and whatnot. So I had the big major games to play, but these were little side things. I got these as gifts. I got these as, little things along the way, and I remember having fun with them. I remember enjoying them quite a bit. And I've had them put away in a bag in my room for years now, and I've never taken them out. And I looked at them and, you know what? Maybe this is an interesting side video I can do for all of you while you're waiting for the 5 lists and me finally doing that Fire Emblem Switch discussion I was planning on doing like 2 weeks ago. It's coming really soon, probably next week. And various other topics and video game related things and anime related things and wrestling related things I really want to do with this channel. Some more live stream type stuff, Q&As and everything. Hoping to get to that soon. But today, a little side video for all of you is me showing off my Tiger Electronic collection. And I have 6 of them right here. I might have more somewhere else, but these were the only 6 I could find in the bag that was just up in the corner of my room. Because years ago, I basically just threw a lot of things in bags and threw them around, hid them, put them away, got rid of some stuff, and yada, yada, yada. And I looked at this, and like I said, I'm going to show off some of you, the 6 I could find. I might have more, but if I do, I don't really know where they're at, and I don't really remember because it's been years since I've even looked at these things. And let's start off with the, Snake's Revenge game and Metal Gear. This was basically my introduction to the Metal Gear series, because I never played the MSX games back in the day. I got to playing them when I did like Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, and it comes with them downloaded. It comes with them as side things you can do on that game. And this is before I got into playing like Metal Gear Solid, like with Metal Gear Solid 1, Twin Snakes, and 2 and whatnot, Sons of Liberty. But it's kind of interesting. Snake's Revenge, I recall that was like a side thing that was an American-based game that wasn't made by Kojima, and then they decided to make a Tiger Electronic game out of it. I remember this one being pretty fun. You just kind of stay on the bottom of the screen and shoot up at the Metal Gears and the soldiers and everything, and it's probably one of the more interesting ones I had. And it is a classic. This thing is dusty. Jeez, I wonder if this thing would still work if I put batteries in it. But yeah, that's Metal Gear. And then we have Street Fighter 2. I loved playing Street Fighter 2 growing up. It was one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. I played with my friends, my cousin. My mom actually played it, which is really strange because she never really played too many video games with me. She played like Mario and Street Fighter and maybe a few other games, but she never really played too many games with me. But this, like Street Fighter 2, was like the Super Nintendo game she played. This isn't the Super Nintendo. This is a Tiger Electronic game, and I forgot if you could actually choose characters in this. I think you're automatically Ryu and you fight like Yonda and Zangief and Guile and Ken and whatnot. But it was okay, I guess. But yeah, it was interesting. It's probably one of the ones back then I enjoyed the most. A little side thing when I was playing the Super Nintendo one. I remember having fun with these games. It's not like I'm not going to go on and say and blast them that they sucked and everything. I can look back on them and be like, yeah, they probably weren't as good as maybe my young mind thought. But I do have positive memories with these things. Unlike probably some people, I probably have some negative memories of these things. like a lot of people. So yeah, there you go. But there was Street Fighter 2, and I recall having some enjoyment out of that. Here we are, a Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace one, which comes with these little things. A Darth Maul little controller thing, as well as I think this is Qui-Gon. Yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn. You can basically just be like, you can take these things off the bottom. Let me do that. Oh, wait, wait a minute. Huh. There wasn't one on Darth Maul. And you stick it in there, and it becomes your little joystick controller. Yay! And yeah, it was just basically like you playing as Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fighting droids, and I'm assuming there's a Darth Maul battle in there. This was probably the latest one I pretty much got. One of the later ones I got because it was, you know, Phantom Menace, and it was like in '99. So there you go. There's a little Star Wars one. And here is Dragon Ball Z, which was during the time when Planet Namek came in to effect. These were, like I said, I think my first two I got were like the Street Fighter 2 and the Metal Gear, like Snake's Revenge ones. These ones kind of came a little bit later because this would have been during the time when they were fighting Frieza. And that was in America, you know, localized, dubbed, I think, in the late 90s, I believe. I think that's when they started getting to Namek and whatnot. So yeah, there's that. And there is, I don't know where it's at. It's in the bag price somewhere, but there's a little Goku figurine you could stick on the top there, and it's basically you just on Namek. Oh, you're Goku. You're fighting like the Ginyu Force, and you fight Frieza. And it was I remember having fun with this. And there's the last two. I'm going to show these two together because they're both wrestling-oriented ones. A WWF, World Wrestling Federation, where you play as Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the WCW Nitro, where you play as Goldberg. Kind of cool. I remember like you fought like Kane and various other wrestlers. Like you went up the little like rings on this up here, and you went up and fought him as Austin. Yada yada yada. Press button, start attack. You know, typical Tiger Electronic stuff. And Goldberg, about the same thing. You fought wrestlers in the ring, which is the interesting thing I thought about this when I went back to look at this. There's these little things on the top, which I do recall all these WCW ones. I think you can play multiplayer by sticking the things in and actually playing with another person, which not many Tiger Electronic games really did. So, yeah, there was a WCW one. And this was around the time I was really starting to get into wrestling games, so I was playing, like, you know, in wrestling in general. So WWF No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, WCW vs. NWO Revenge, World Tour, after a couple years after I got into Saturday Night Slam Masters and whatnot. So, yeah, these two came along my love for wrestling, which a lot of these kind of did. Star Wars love, Dragon Ball Z love, which I was a really big freaking fan of Dragon Ball Z back in the day. I still am, but like, you know, back then you're a young kid. One of my favorite anime series of all time. This was before I really got into knowing what anime even was. And then getting into wrestling, and I love Street Fighter, and my first introduction-ish to the Metal Gear universe, which is interesting to say. It was a Tiger game. And that was back then before I even knew what the hell Metal Gear Solid even was. So yeah, there you go. There's what I could find of it. I don't know if I've any games missing, but my 6-game Tiger collection, which has been locked away in the bag for years, and maybe rightfully so. But wanted to show you guys this quick little video. Put in the comments what you guys think. Did you guys have any like Tiger Electronic games in your lifetime when you were younger, or are you too young and you obviously are in the era past these things, and you're like, what the hell is a Tiger Electronic game? My response, go watch Angry Video Game Nerd. There you go. You might be too young to watch him, but you'll get an understanding more from him than from me what these things are. And that's about it. My name is Sniper's Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day, and see you all in the next video. Bye.